How to become an alpha male. How to dominate and attract women. By Norton Raven. Narrated by Stephen Lowe. Introduction. Alpha male is synonymous to power. Power in the society, power in the group, power as an individual, that is. You may have come across some men who stand at the top when they are in a group. Whoever does is the alpha male. He may come in different shapes and sizes. But there are two basic characteristics you find in every alpha male. Alpha males are always first in line. Alpha males have a peculiar habit of being in the spotlight. They don't make too many jokes, jump, shout, fight, or make funny faces to be in the spotlight. But they know when they need to put themselves out there. Remember, alpha males receive power on autopilot. They don't ask for it. Also, alpha males never try to seek approval. Who said you have to follow others to make them follow you? You never become an alpha male by doing that. Remember, you never seek the approval of others. You just express yourself and see if they want to be with you. You don't need to look for a way to make them be with you. You never need them. You don't depend on anyone. Your strength comes from yourself, from deep within and not from others. You assume authority and you get it. You assume power and you get it. Power is a bizarre socio-psychological entity. You never beg for power. You never squabble for power. Alpha males never do that. It's an unconscious adjustment that we make when we interact with each other. Somebody always holds the upper status while someone holds the lower status. We do this unknowingly and inadvertently. So if you consciously govern the social dynamics, you end up being in charge, not only of others, but also of the situation. You are a Jedi Master then. You become an alpha male then. And the very first thing about holding power over others is by holding power over yourself. Never relinquish your power to somebody else. You live in your own reality. You move your own way. You are connected to the core man, your alpha man. You have your eyes set on what you want, and you are oblivious to everything else. You are your own master, remember? This is the cardinal step to that covetous, seductive word, power. And guess what? Alpha males possess that. Another crucial aspect is alpha males are always pretty outgoing. They are never enclosed or hemmed in one place. They are out there living and learning. Alpha males are out of their mother's womb once, and alphas are out of their comfort zone every day. They are taking on new challenges, and if they thrive through it, they are only growing bigger by the day. Do you understand this? If you do, then it's time to learn more about becoming an alpha male. Perhaps it would be good to define what a beta male is versus an alpha male. In primate societies, of which we are a part of, there is a social hierarchy that has evolved into us human beings from our primate ancestors. This hierarchy, expressed generally in the males of the primate cultures, can be separated into two basic groups. The first is the alpha male, or the leader of the troop. The alpha male is in charge of the safety of the troop from predators and other threatening males from other troops. In addition, the alpha male is in charge of providing for the other needs of the troop as well. In human society, the alpha male, the tribal leader, is in charge of the emotional, financial, social, nutritional, and physical well-being of the members of his tribe. This is not new. It is simply human nature. Chapter 1. An alpha male. Are you an alpha male? You may be, but know this. An alpha male does not act like an overbearing, arrogant, cocky jerk. Men who think they carry a strong alpha male trait often are confused about what a real alpha male portrays. A real alpha male portrays confidence and is strong, but also knows when and how to show their softer side. The alpha male traits are very distinctive, and there is no gray area. You either are or you are not. The alpha can carry on a conversation, sharing interesting stories about them, but also know how and when to listen. Really listen. And be able to reflect back on what a woman has said. A true alpha male is a smooth operator. That is true, but they are smooth because while they may love women, they also know women deserve to be treated with respect and kindness. A true alpha male is cocky, but not in the sense of arrogance or that they are above another. They are cocky because they have mastered the skills it takes to set them apart from the rest of the crowd. They have the confidence level that it takes to approach any situation with a sincere drive, not just because they can, but also because they know what they want and they will not settle for less. He does not make a woman feel like a second-class citizen. This is where many men fail when they attempt to be an alpha. They think that the male is to be superior, make all the decisions, and control a woman from what they should think, do, or say. That is not an alpha. That is a jerk. A real alpha male is not intimidated by a strong woman and encourages self-expression. It is that factor of a true alpha gentleman that attracts the right women. An alpha knows when to back off from a woman. They could quickly assess if a woman is interested or not, and does not just assume that since they are an alpha, the woman should fall madly in love with them. They are not overbearing, nor expect to be instantly worshipped. An alpha man can easily be described as a true gentleman, one who knows what he wants, likes, and needs, and knows how to get it without crossing boundaries or belittling anyone along the way. He carries himself with confidence and does not waver on what he feels is right and true. A genuine alpha is an epitome of what every woman wants in a man. How to become the alpha male. The concept of an alpha male is something most people misunderstand. Many assume that external factors lead to being an alpha male. In other words, if a man holds a certain status, position, physical trait, or communicative skill, then the man becomes an alpha. Well, he may have certain traits of an alpha male, but he is not necessarily an alpha if these traits are used to cover up an inner beta male. In other words, to truly be an alpha male, you need to have the confidence and belief in yourself that makes you one. All of these traits exist within you. You simply need to discover them and bring them out of their latency. The first step towards discovering your ability to be an alpha male centers on understanding what an alpha truly is. Essentially, an alpha is a leader that others look up to for support and guidance. In short, an alpha is someone with confidence and abilities, and it shows. This automatically leads to others understanding the status of this individual because of the clear outward displays of confidence. In a group dynamic, the alpha is clearly at the top of the chain. This does not mean the alpha is belligerent or condescending. Such behavior is far more beta, and dare it to be said, omega, than anything else. No, an alpha is someone who likes others and is liked by them. And more importantly, an alpha is someone who is respected and demands attention by himself. Of course, there are those reading this and wondering, what on earth? What can be done to discover and develop innate alpha behavior? Well, here's some good news. It is nowhere nearly as tough as some people initially assume. The key to discovering the inner alpha in you is to first start acting like an alpha. Are you passive, timid, and unwilling to take the lead? You will need to reserve such behavior and become far more outgoing and lively. This does not necessarily mean you need to be cocky or aggressive. You simply need to display a positive, direct manner that is tempered with grace. What is meant by grace? On the most basic of terms, this means you will display a high knowledge of social skills. You will act in a manner that is polite and likable, and avoid any public displays where you act in a manner that would detract from people's opinion of you. Sometimes saying little, listening to a lot, and presenting confident body postures can work significantly in terms of the ability to present an alpha attitude. When to start acting in such a manner, you need to slowly listen to the cues other people give you. Alpha male behavior often commandeers respect from others and positive vibes. If you start noticing an uptick in people's attitudes towards you that display such vibes, keep doing what you are doing. You are clearly discovering your inner alpha male and making the traits work for you. And no, you will not be mimicking an alpha male while engaging in this process. You will become an alpha male, and you will also enjoy all the benefits that go with it. Traits that will help you be an alpha male. So just how exactly does one go about learning how to be a man that his peers admire and the women flock to? Easy. You just have to adopt these characteristics and apply them to your everyday life. So let's take a look at them. 1. Confidence. Now, we all know this was going to be on the list, and quite frankly, it deserves a book all to itself. To keep things plain and simple, Alpha males exude confidence in just about everything they do because they are self-assured. They believe in their own abilities and know that there is no such thing as failure as long as they give it their best effort. Confidence is really just an attitude that one has towards life. It builds upon itself through practice and experience. One of the easiest ways to develop self-confidence is to fake it till you make it. In other words, mimic the language, mannerisms, and behaviors of a confident person, and you will soon start to see just how easy it is. 2. Indifference. Have you ever noticed how nonchalant or unconcerned an alpha male appears to be? On the surface, they may seem careless, but in reality, they are carefree. This is one of the main reasons why they have beautiful women surrounding them. Women of high caliber are used to being put on pedestals and treated like goddesses. But an alpha male, on the other hand, doesn't treat them any different because of their looks. He is completely indifferent towards them in general and demonstrates how he is just fine with or without them. This indifference is what draws not only women, but people in general towards an alpha male. We are constantly trying to get people like us, and will try even harder when we feel we are failing. So be the one being chased instead of the chaser. 3. Valuable. The ideal man knows his worth and doesn't seek validation from others to feel it. He knows he is valuable and wears that price tag everywhere he goes. These days, men feel accomplished after a major success or after they score with a woman. The other 80% of the time, they are looking for reasons to prove their value to everyone. An alpha male doesn't need to prove anything to anyone and stores his worth intrinsically. He's the man that shows up to a job interview and is not afraid to ask for a higher salary because he knows that he can and will deliver something that no other man can. 4. Humorous. Being an alpha male doesn't mean you have to walk around like a tough guy with a straight face all the time. It's actually quite the opposite. A man who knows how to work a room and deliver a well-timed joke is usually seen as not only attractive, but as a leader. See, telling a joke takes some guts. There is a chance that your joke will bomb, and you will have run on the risk of lowering your social value. An alpha male understands this and uses it to his advantage. That is why he takes the time to understand the intricacies of humor, so that the next time he is at a social gathering, people will remember who had them laughing the whole night. 5. Fitness/coordination. As previously mentioned, being super ripped is not a qualification for being an alpha male. In fact, there are plenty of guys who aren't at all physically fit, who would still be considered as alpha males. However, there is a certain degree of fitness and coordination that should still be met. James Bond wasn't seen entering a room, knocking over tables and people's drinks, was he? No. He was in control of his every move. He moved with purpose and efficiency. When things got dangerous, he was either able to run like hell or defend himself. The point is that his body was in one way or another, a tool that he can count on at any point in time. 6. Ability to build sexual tension. Another reason why alpha males are so good with women is that they know how to build sexual tension. They do this by taking a normal interaction and creating a sense of romance or sensuality out of it. Their confidence and charisma is unrelenting and captures the imagination of the women they are talking to. These men know how to push a woman's buttons in just the right way. An alpha male is unapologetic about his sexual presence and offers the opportunity for a woman to be swept off her feet. 7. Courageous. Being courageous doesn't mean that you don't feel fear. It means exercising the ability to push that fear aside and rise above whatever obstacle you are facing. Alpha males push themselves to break out of their comfort zone and face fears on a daily basis. This makes them comfortable with the uncomfortable. Once they desensitize themselves to the feeling of fear, it becomes increasingly easy for them to perform courageous acts. 8. Bold. Sometimes certain things need to be said. Nobody wants to step up to the plate. So it comes down to the alpha male. They are the ones who are willing to tell people how they really feel. They will tell it like it is, in an unduly and forward fashion. Beating around a bush and pussyfooting is for the average Joe. It is the brazen attitude that separates the alpha male from others. In many cases, though, this approach to life isn't just desired, but necessary. 9. Poised. An alpha male is a graceful creature. He has an elegant bearing and navigates through life with precision and fluidity. His undoubted belief in himself isn't flaunted, but instead harnessed. This makes him somewhat elusive. It is almost like he has something up his sleeve that he is waiting to pull out. It's for this reason that he should never be underestimated. This total lack of anxiousness and nerve is what makes an alpha male a smooth operator. 10. Mysterious. The alpha male always keeps people guessing. When someone has unanswered questions, what do? They inquire about that particular subject. They go around asking their friends and peers in order to gather more information. A man who doesn't reveal himself all at once leaves the opportunity for people to do just that. He puts on a spectacle, and then just like that, he vanishes. Then there is nothing left but a grand image of that man and all the wonders of the people who witnessed him. The alpha male body language secrets. Perhaps you don't realize it enough, but it is perfectly possible to create attraction and confidence by body language. Alpha males are experts in this, and the more they learn about body language, the more confident they become, and the more they get laid. If you think that everyone was born as an alpha male or beta male, you are wrong. Becoming an alpha male can be learned, and the best way to do this is by changing your body language. Did you know that body language is responsible for 90% of a conversation? There are 3 main groups of men in the world: nice guys, jerks, and alpha males. Out of these 3 groups, the alpha males have the highest social status, the most money, and a lot of positive attention from women. In the next few paragraphs, you will discover 5 alpha male body language secrets that most people don't know. 1. Your eyes. Alpha males will always look someone right in the eyes when they are talking. On the other hand, a beta male will look a woman into the eyes when she has the word. This way, they are considered as less dominant. Obviously, you don't want that other person to see you as a psychopath. So when talking, give your eyes a break every now and then. 2. Your voice. Successful people and pickup artists already know it, but your voice is very important in a conversation, especially when you're seducing a girl. Never speak too fast. This is a sign of nervousness. Your voice should be calm and relaxed. Maybe you shout when someone says something you don't want to know. A real alpha male never shouts. When you are shouting to a woman, it is most likely that she will stop the conversation immediately. 3. Relax. The number one secret of some of the top alpha males in the world is that they are always relaxed. Look when someone shouts their name. They will never turn their heads very fast like beta males do. Instead, they turn down their head slowly in the direction of the other person. It is very important that you control the situation and not the other person regardless of his or her sex or social status. 4. Choose the best location. When an alpha male is in a conversation, he always chooses the best location so he has an overview of the whole situation. I swear, if you go to a party and you start a conversation with a group of people, they won't even notice you. You have to spread out your body, take as much space as you need with your whole body. 5. Don't check out the girls. If you go out and you check out every hot babe in the venue, then stop this beta male trait immediately. My guess is that 98 of these people don't know how to start a conversation with women, and they definitely don't end up in a relationship with them. Don't prove yourself to a girl. Make sure she has to prove herself to you. As you can see, all of these body language secrets of the alpha male can be learned. The only thing that you have to do is to change your mindset. Don't take my word for it. I have a little challenge for you. If you don't believe that these tips are real, next time you go out, check out the men who have the most success with women and see it for yourself. Discover the underground psychological secrets of the alpha male. By achieving the alpha male status, you give your social circle a boost and you can get almost every woman you choose. Chapter 2. The best way to become an alpha male. The best way to become an alpha male is to get rid of beta male traits. which I briefly mentioned in the previous chapter. Don't get me wrong, but at this point, I have absolutely nothing against beta males. On the contrary, I love them. It is funny to see how they are talking with women or dealing with other alpha males. In fact, I think the world would be very boring if everybody would be an alpha male. But this chapter is not about the beta males or the other billions of men in the world. It's about you. Being an alpha male is a way of life. It starts from the moment you wake up. Becoming an alpha male is a status you have to deserve. True, you have no control over some things such as your height, your family, or your skin color, but you do have control over your behavior. And this is what attracts women most. Women are less interested in looks than guys. Since they seek safety with a man, they are usually looking at someone's behavior to find a mate. Alpha males are masters in controlling the situation. They live in their own world and don't take orders from anybody. The society has a role for you, and beta males are taking it whether they like it or not. Today's society doesn't allow it, that you are rich, and especially not that you are good with women. It looks like a big conspiracy, but it is funny to see that most people will give you advice like, be nice, buy women drinks, work hard, and so on. Most, if not all, of the alpha males are self-employed. Of course, it takes a lot of risk, but I don't like it if someone tells me what to do, and especially not if they are telling me how to do it. Being your own boss is by all means a big step in the right direction. There are rich alpha males and rich beta males. There are good-looking alpha males and good-looking beta males. The difference is that beta males will brag about it. If you say to a woman, I have a house with an indoor swimming pool and a six-pack, you are seeking approval. Always make sure that a woman discovers this on her own. This way, you are a little bit mysterious in her eyes. Look good. An alpha male follows the latest fashion trends. Most men don't give as much value like women do to clothes and fashion, but you have to do it. It is important that you pay attention to your shoes. Next time you go shopping, pick out 2 pairs of shoes you like and ask a woman for her opinion. This way, you know what a woman likes, but on the other hand, you have a reason to start a conversation with her. Shaving is important as well. And I'm not only talking about your hair. In some circumstances, it is recommended that you have a beard to obscure acne-scarred cheeks, for example. A cool hairstyle is important, and here is a little yet effective secret. Ironically enough, most real alpha males go to gay male barbers so they know which hairstyles women like. Keep in mind that this was only a brief description of the alpha male, so body language and tone of voice are also very important. But remember, the best way to become an alpha male is to get rid of your past beta male life. Character flaws alpha males avoid at all costs. If you want to stop being a beta male and display the characteristics of an alpha male, you have to know what not to do. There are certain things that beta males do that alpha males just don't indulge in. Here's a list of 8 things that alpha males don't do. Alpha males do not apologize for who they are. A common thread that runs through most beta males is a need to apologize for who they are. They seem to go around and apologize for their very existence. You will often hear the average guy apologize before he gives his opinion. It's as if they need to apologize in advance before they even say something. The alpha male is proud of who he is and strong in his opinion. Don't ever say, well, I'm sorry, but I don't agree. Confident men never seek approval. Approval seekers constantly wander around the world doing things so that the social group accepts them. They display neediness and appear clingy. They often give approval just to get approval. Alpha males have an inner reference that they abide by. They don't look for approval. They do what comes naturally to them and are unconcerned with what others are doing. Alpha males never give up their own status to impress a woman. Many men believe that in order to attract a woman, they have to supplicate their own status and give all the power to the woman. They believe that if they put the woman on a pedestal and shower her with compliments before they even know her, that she will eventually see the same in them. Alpha males know this and treat all people as equals. Nobody is given a higher status. Naturals never whine or complain. They are generally in control of their own domain. Everybody complains from time to time, but the alpha male will eventually take responsibility for his own problems. Beta males will oftentimes use it as an excuse and become intolerable to those around them. They can often use it as a crutch to get secondary forms of pleasure. Alpha males don't do this. Alpha males do not idolize women. If you are idolizing a woman based on looks, stop immediately. Most men will completely overlook some unbearable flaws in a woman because of her beauty. This can lead a man down a brutal path of destruction. Having this kind of attitude towards a woman can lead to massive heartaches in the future when those flaws that don't seem so important in the beginning become amplified later on. Confident men know what kind of character and personality they are looking for in women, and look for those attributes in women right from the beginning instead of focusing on the looks. Makeup artists never try to fix women. Most guys will decide that when they find a woman they like, they can eventually turn her into the ideal woman by fixing her and her problems. You might think that this will lead to a better relationship. The fact is that you will only end up creating resentment in the other person. Self-assured men give women the space they need to grow. If they're not compatible, they just move on. Alpha males don't try to impress women or support them financially. Many men jump into relationships by trying to impress women with compliments, gifts, dinners, and other means of support. I don't mean to compliment women or buy the occasional dinner. I just mean that they don't set up a standard where they are the ones giving all the time. When they decide to give, their women appreciate it more. Alpha males do not display nervousness in front of women. This means that you have to get rid of all your nervous tics around women. A key example of this occurs at initial eye contact. When a girl catches you looking at her, don't look away as though you were just caught with your hands in the cookie jar. The alpha male will just maintain eye contact nonchalantly and give a nod of acknowledgement before breaking. Reasons alpha males attract the most women. Interactions between the male species have always been with the survival philosophy of survival of the fittest. The male that survives is chosen based on strong breed. This is especially true in animal pack societies, in which the alpha male would be the only one among the pack. His job would be to get all the females pregnant so the species could continue to live. The male human species look upon the situation strangely, with a hint of pensiveness. What would it be like to be the top king of the gang, to be the one who procreates to survive? However, those males do not understand that the alpha male becomes this title not by birthright, but by proving time and time again that he is the strongest and the most intelligent to survive. Yet, should another male challenge the alpha male to a duel, then the alpha male must fight in order to keep his status. Should he decline, it will be removed from him. This is to ensure that the species indeed continues to exist, because the alpha male is likely to rear strong children. This is good for the animal kingdom, but what does this have to do for the human race? How do the two relate? In fact, there are alpha males in the human race, yet the criteria for these alpha males are set differently than those in the animal kingdom. These are 5 categories of alpha males in the human race. They are the powerful alpha, the intellectual alpha, military alpha, bad boy alpha, and the artistic alpha. Definitions of the 5 types of alpha males. In the powerful alpha male, it is the man who is the most powerful. This holds true for their community, family, and friends, as well as their business. Women who are engrossed in this type of alpha are looking at business tycoons, politicians, and possibly even royalty. It's because a woman wants these positions and the power that the position brings to it. It's a little less personal, but it can trigger a woman to become interested and see beyond the shallow status of such a man, which could eventually turn into a great relationship. Intellectual alpha. Men who are smart on any topic or subjects. These men are likely to go to school to get their PhDs and are likely to save the world. Where these males can be found, in their offices and workspaces along with their counterparts, their mates. I personally know someone like that. He speaks at symposiums and works as a consultant. Whenever he comments in the group, he uses vocabulary few understand, but not to the point to just sound smart. He knows what he's talking about, and he usually has a sideways, smart smirk on his face. He seems confident, and the very blonde woman he married admits that she was mostly drawn to his intellect. Military alpha. These are the men women tend to love. Women love men in uniforms because they have power. have an adventurous sense, and as a job that could be bought and talked about, although the phrase, "that's classified," would be a mood killer. Their mates know that the military alpha will be out of the country a good part of the time, so bonding is never very big. The risk-taking factor is what makes them attractive, and the protective feeling of having a fighter watching over you. The bad boy alpha can take on many forms. He can be of military special forces or with black ops. He can have a dappled past and one criminal element that may have a price on his head. He may not strike about conversations and talk a lot, but he assumes the women he is with will know what he wants or needs. The artistic alpha would be the type to sell drawings in a museum, but have his showings somewhere exotic. This type of male is the romantic side, and women will be adorned by this alpha. Do the males you know fit into one of these 5 categories? Every woman has wanted to date at least one of them. As the military Marine saying goes, the few, the proud, we're the alpha males. Chapter 3. Alpha male mentality. What exactly makes the mentality of an alpha male different from others? Why is the mentality of an alpha male important when considering meeting women? What exactly is the alpha male mentality? To answer these questions, we have to take a look at the different characteristics of an alpha male and what defines his mentality. But before we go and do that, let's quickly clear up a misconception first. Whenever there is talk about the mentality of an alpha male, some people think that he is a guy who asserts his dominance over others by being the loudest and most aggressive person in the group, someone who constantly needs to be the center of attention to feel validated. They think he is a guy who is so desperate for attention, he would do anything to stand out, even if it means getting into fights with others. However, the guy who we just described is in no way an alpha. He is commonly referred to as a jerk. The reason why people might confuse them is that the jerk has some characteristics, what women find irresistible, of an alpha male. He is confident and unpredictable, a huge turn-on for women, but lacks maturity and is usually too self-centered to be referred to as an alpha. In comparison to the alpha male, he's just an immature boy who has to put other people down to feed his own massive ego. So the next time you meet a jerk, don't rush to label him as an alpha male. But let's take a look now at the alpha male mentality. Here are the main characteristics that define an alpha. 1. Dominant. When talking about dominance, the one thing you have to understand is that an alpha isn't someone who will step on other people or try to control them to maintain his dominance. He will naturally assume a dominant role and other people tend to follow him. When someone doesn't see eye to eye with him, he won't try to convince them to change their mind. His dominant attitude is also one of the main reasons why so many women tend to feel attracted to him. 2. Not needing approval from people. What makes an alpha male different is that he has no need to seek approval from others to feel better about himself. He isn't seeking validation from people around him, but at the same time has no superiority complex a jerk has. He isn't looking at others on how to live his life. He makes his own rules and doesn't care if someone disagrees with that. He will, however, consider and value others' opinion, but will not be guided by them. 3. Isn't comparing himself to others. Many guys have the need to compare themselves to other men. An alpha male, however, has no need to do that. Not because he thinks he is better than others, but it doesn't even enter into his mind to compare and judge others based on their looks, beliefs, social status, or ideas. Whenever an alpha meets a new woman, he won't put her on a pedestal, and to him, a very beautiful woman than an average-looking one. To him, all people are of equal status. 4. Always confident. I already mentioned this before, but it is so important. An alpha male is completely confident in his own skin and feels at home wherever he is. His unshakable confidence that sets him apart from the average Joe comes from himself and not from the surroundings, his social status, or the people around him. He has no problem approaching a woman, and his confidence won't even be shaken should he get rejected. The irony here is, the more confidence he has, the less he will get rejected. 5. A positive attitude and a good sense of humor. Humor plays a big role in attraction, and an alpha male can make people around him laugh. The thing is, however, he isn't trying to be the funniest guy around. The key to attracting women is having a positive attitude in life and knowing how to be self-amusing. An alpha male can make fun of a moment because he finds it amusing, and other people will react to it and be entertained as well. 6. Has no problem keeping his cool. A man who keeps his cool even in the hardest situations can be considered an alpha male. When others have problems staying with the tension in the room, he stays relaxed and clear-minded. He can adapt to any situation and stay totally confident and focused. This is especially important when meeting women, because women will test a man to see if he can stay relaxed. 7. Being authentic. Whatever an alpha male does, he does it authentically. His actions and interactions reflect who he is. He has no need to use trickery or manipulation to make others think of him as someone who he isn't. 8. Certainty. Certainty is very important for a man who has to make important decisions. An alpha is very certain in himself and does not doubt his decisions. No one except himself can change his mind about the things he believes to be true. However, this doesn't mean he is hard-headed and denies when he is in the wrong. Whenever he is wrong, he has no problems admitting it to himself and other people. So these were some examples of the alpha male mentality. When you are trying to become more alpha, don't take these examples as rules, but look at them more like guidelines in becoming a more fulfilling man. If you try and force yourself to act this way, you will only slow down your process. You don't have to chase perfection to become an alpha male. An alpha male has no illusions about being perfect and neither thrives to become one. He just knows to play his strengths, minimize his weaknesses, and works on eliminating them, and so should you. Alpha male personality. Women tend to go gaga over men who pay close attention to them, and men should make sure that their focus remains on them. 1. Understanding what women want. The men who act entirely contrary to what was specified, they usually end up spending their nights all by themselves. Women want men to be nice to them at all times, and they hate it when men are not paying attention to them. Thus, consistency will be important for men, and bad behavior will certainly not work. Women tend to be fragile, and even if they are behaving badly, men should try to keep their cool. Women realize the man in front of them is not taking offense even from their bad behavior will instantly become attracted to him. 2. Stop being the beta male. Men cannot become true alpha males if they have beta male personalities. Men will have to avoid becoming the beta male and aim to the alpha male personality, which will draw women directly to them. Men will have to be real men to show the women how safe and secure they will be in their arms. Good habits like opening doors for women and being an overall gentleman will allow men to score great points with women. 3. Respect yourself. Men who are respectful of themselves will end up making the women respect them too. Men not only need to keep their women happy, but should be happy as well for the relationship to succeed and the woman to show an uncontrollable interest in them. Rather than challenging their men, should also try to make the relationship easier for them, which will cause the woman to fall for them or fall directly in their arms. 4. Be responsible. Men who want that alpha male status will also have to divide the responsibility of the relationship equally. While they do not want to burden their women with the weight, granting them a sense of independence and giving them enough space while being least concerned will reel them back in for sure. Men must, however, remember that they are alpha males, not douchebags. So they should avoid putting too much weight on their women's shoulders than they can handle. Chapter 4. Alpha males take risks. One of the hallmarks of being an alpha male is that he's willing to take risks to improve his situation. This contrasts with the beta male, who, by his very nature, plays it safe. Now, let's see the basis for why the alpha male and the beta male differ. The alpha male is also going to find himself attractive to women. Women being smaller and weaker physically, as well as slower, needs protection if she's going to not only survive in the jungle, but survive long enough to reproduce and send her genes into the next generation. So women are hardwired to be attracted to the alpha male. This still holds true in humans. Women want an assertive male who is the leader of men and who takes care of their needs and the needs of the whole tribe and does it from a position of strength and authority. The beta male, by contrast, is a follower. He is passive-aggressive, which means that he does things covertly, whereas the alpha male is more straightforward. In human terms, this can manifest itself by trying to bribe people into liking them, doing favors for others to get favors back, chasing women that they are attracted to, and a whole bunch of other things. Beta males are really categorized by their passivity to any given situation. What also follows is that the beta male will resort to backstabbing, gossip, and whining when he doesn't get his way. Now that we have that established, we could see the basis for why the alpha male and the beta male differ in the risk department. If a male is going to be an alpha male, that means that he will put himself in danger's way and open himself up to more risks. Frankly, who risks more than the leader of a group? Think about the officer leading the army, or the quarterback of the team, or perhaps the CEO of a business. The higher up you go in the social hierarchy, the more people are waiting for your demise, and the quicker they want that to happen so that they could take your place. Sometimes that is done directly by other alpha males, and sometimes it is done passively by the beta male types. So being the leader of the group means that you are exposing yourself to attacks by others. That means also that if the alpha male fails, the life of the whole tribe, or in our case, company, military unit, or football team, for example, is at risk. So the alpha male has to confidently take on the risks that come his way. But the beta male by nature is someone who stands in the shadow of the alpha male. Like the alpha male and any male, he too wants to climb up the chain and be a leader. But for some reason, he lacks the ability or perhaps the confidence to do that. The beta male nature is to play it safe and hope that opportunity falls into his lap. Again, the beta male will resort to passive tactics such as bribery or ass-kissing or doing favors for someone that may reward him with a higher position in the tribe. Remember, tribe in this sense means any organization or group that the male may find himself a part of. So the beta male doesn't take risks in some sense. He eats off the scraps of the alpha male's table and is happy with it. That means that his loyalty will quickly shift to whoever has the ability to best feed him, that is, give him what he wants. All males start out as beta males, by the way, but some of them grow out of it and become alpha males. Those are the guys who take the risks in life. This can certainly be seen in a business setting. There are some guys who are drones, who play it safe, who do just enough work to keep their job and get by. Sometimes they get promoted simply because someone else moves up or dies, but often they get to a level of comfort and just stay there. They trade in the greatest lifestyle of the alpha male for the safety of the beta male. How about in romance? Well, it can clearly be seen there too. Ever go to a club and see a bunch of guys who are standing around with a drink to their chest watching the action? The guys who go there hoping, or even worse, expecting a girl to come up and talk to them? They dare not take the risk of getting shot down, so they stand there and hope people come to them. Then there are the guys in the club who take the risk of getting shot down. They approach people. Specifically, they approach women. Sometimes they get shot down, and sometimes they are successful in making a connection. But the fact that they are willing to take the risk opens them up to many more possibilities than the passive beta male, who won't even make any connection because they won't take the risk of getting shot down. In addition to that, women want men who are willing to take risks. Back in our ancestor days, the guy who could take risks was the guy who was likely to be the alpha male. That meant that he was going to be a leader, and that meant that he would not only have his strengths and resources to protect her and their potential offspring, but that he'd have the resources of the whole tribe at his disposal. If the name of the game is survival, then the woman who is attached to the alpha male has the best chance of surviving. That means that the very act of approaching a woman at all, that is, showing he would take the risk, automatically clicks on all the attraction buttons in a woman's brain. Just that alone gives him points in her book and increases the chance that the man can make a connection with the woman. The beta male, on the other hand, loses points by standing around and being passive when it comes to women. That means, in the romantic world, no one starts with a 0 score. You either start positive the alpha male who takes the risk and approaches, or, in the negative, the beta male who passively sits and watches. We can't escape the brain wiring that got us here. Back in our jungle days, it was the alpha male who took risks to become the alpha male, who had the troop to help him survive, as he helped it survive, who got to reproduce with the females of the world. That brain wiring that got us here is still alive and well in our brains. So it is the guy who is assertive and takes on the risks who ends up winning the girl in the end. Not only the girl, but the job, the money, and even things like fame and fortune and glory. Unleashing your inner alpha male. For most men, the expression alpha male has a damaging meaning. It indicates the football captain who employed to swagger all around their campus, intimidating the underclassmen and snatching all the hot chicks. Or you may well have an alpha male in your workplace, a man's man who radiates self-assurance and power, and usually obtains what he's after. He may be a discomfort in the ass to function for, but you gotta respect the man. Either way, most fellas endure underneath the belief that some of us are born as alpha males, and the rest of us are doomed to be shy guys, or great guys, who can only have the leftovers and don't even know how to get a lady's mobile phone quantity. But the truth is, we've all got an alpha male within us. I'd like to give you 3 tips on how to bring out your alpha side. 1. Displaying your alpha male side means showing off self-assurance and charm with males and girls. Develop your sociable network. This is so essential. I have observed plenty of fellas who analyze pickup since they want to find out how to satisfy single ladies. A whole lot of them turn out to be a lot more productive with speaking to females and can occasionally decide on up a girl. Yet they carry on to really feel intimidated or hostile in the direction of other men, especially males who they feel are better hunting or cooler than they are, or fellas who are getting much more consideration from females. I know that when you go out, the major target is to fulfill women, but producing new friendships with alpha fellas is planning to assist your extended expression game. Make this a habit. When you're at a bar, club, or party, and you see fellas who have cool, good electricity and are possessing a good time and getting interested from girls, introduce yourself to them. Walk up to the coolest searching dude in the room and inform him, "Bro, I'm impressed. The lady's into you. What's your secret?" There's a 90% possibility that he will shake your hand, want to know you, and now you've acquainted this person as a buddy and a wingman. As you broaden your network of alpha wingmen, the social rewards are large. These fellas will invite you to bars, parties, and so forth that you didn't know about. They may know ladies they want you to hook up with. And when you're hanging out with your alpha buddies in social environments, you automatically have sociable proof in the eyes of the women. When women see you hanging with these guys, it shows that you have large social worth. If you typically go to the very same aged bars with the same old buddies of yours, the guys who don't strategize females, it's time for you to upgrade and commence hanging out with some men who are super sociable and give you extra motivation. 2. My second fast idea on how to become an alpha male is that you require being decisive. Don't be wishy-washy. Females respect adult males who lay out a path for them to stick to. It may well sound chauvinistic, but it's accurate. She truly doesn't want to have to determine which movie to go see or in which to have dinner tonight. You're actually generating her a bit uncomfortable when you demonstrate the indecisive behavior. Girls require sensing that their man is emotionally strong and able to supply security and safety. Anytime there is a selection to be produced, you require action up to and express how you consider it ought to go. Even if it's as minor as determining exactly where to go, consume, or have coffee. She might not constantly agree, but she will respect the reality that you have a definite opinion. Fragile move. If you're not active, perhaps you could hang out sometime and do one thing. Alpha proceed. Inform me your favorite romantic comedy, and I'll rent it. We'll view it Friday evening at my spot, even though I cooked dinner for us. Or, you mentioned you adored Italian meals. I know about this great Japanese restaurant that's a hidden gem, and I want to show it to you. I'll choose you up Thursday evening at 8 o'clock. 3. My other suggestion is depart them wanting far more. The leading alpha males, regardless of whether it's a company mogul or a Hollywood star, are extremely occupied individuals. They're not proceeding to grant you endless quantities of their time. Your attitude ought to be of the very same with women. You want to be the one ending the discussion very first, no matter whether it's a conversation at a bar or a cell phone call to set up a date. The typical dude will speak and discuss till the lady lastly says, "I have to go locate my friend," or, "It was good speaking to you, but I'll need to be up early tomorrow." As an alpha male, you ought to constantly have a target in thoughts when you converse with a lady and accomplish that target just before the discussion ends. At the bar, the objective may be to get her cell phone or her email address. Or if you're calling her on the mobile phone, the goal could be to establish when you're planning to see her next. The bottom line is, you've received to have a program, a technique, and a way to execute it. By no means drag it out to the point exactly where she has to leave very first. She'll presume you've obtained absolutely nothing else proceeding on in your existence. When you end it very first, you will leave her questioning, he isn't like most of the men I've met. What are the other things he's planning on in his life? Who are the other ladies he's seeing? Why is he often as well occupied to discuss on the cell phone? Chapter 5. Secrets of the Alpha Male Exposed. Let's cut to the chase. Below are 7 things you should know about becoming an alpha male before you get started. 1. Anyone can become an alpha male. The great news is that anyone can become an alpha male and become wildly successful in his relationship with women, learning to effortlessly attract and make them happy. 2. Make up your mind to succeed no matter what. If you want to become an alpha male, you must first make up your mind to succeed, come rain, come sunshine, come hurricane, come earthquake. If you don't decide right now to succeed, regardless, you will struggle and have little or so-so results. 3. Be completely fed up with your current situation and results. How do you make up your mind, you ask? Well, use your current situation to fire yourself up. Are you happy with the current services you've been receiving? Answer this question and others will fire you up. Get your juice roaring and get you set for action. 4. Change your mindset. Alpha males process events differently from beta males. An ordinary guy sees an attractive woman and he thinks, "I don't stand a chance. She wants only a rich guy." But an alpha processes the situation differently. Instinctively, he goes into his alpha male mode, and in a couple of minutes, you see him having a playful banter with the woman, and from there, you know exactly where the alpha male will lead the attractive woman to. 5. Acquire alpha male mindset to become a hit with women. So what is this all-powerful mindset? Having confidence in yourself and your abilities to give a woman the best times of her life. How do you get that confidence? 6. Educate yourself. Starting from today, you must educate yourself in every area of your life you desire to change. Invest in quality ebooks, guides, and seminars. By reading up on this book, you are educating yourself in one of the most important areas of your life. 7. Massive actions. Start taking action right away. There is no doubt that if you build up all of these desires to become an alpha male and don't take the action required, you will find yourself in the same place you were yesterday and the day before. Immediately, you made up your mind to the possibilities and the power to the new you. The next step is to take massive action. Newton's law of motion comes into play here. In the absence of a net force, a body either is at rest or moves in a straight line with constant speed. So if you continue in your old deficient thinking, you'll be exactly where you are today. But if you act on the impulse, energy of what you just read, your life will witness a marvelous turnaround. Conclusion. Becoming an alpha male is simply a correction of mindset. Most people will tell you that to become an alpha male, you have to be handsome, tall, rich, and speak in a certain style. All these qualities are great because people are naturally attracted to aesthetics. But that is not what being an alpha male is all about. If you are a beta male or the guy in the background, or the guy that lives his chances to fingers crossed. Becoming an alpha male who succeeds with everything in life, including women, is only a step away. The first question I will ask you is, are you good enough for yourself? If yes, then no woman is out of your league. But if no, then you need to first learn to appreciate yourself before the world will appreciate you. Confidence, strong self-perception, and the ability to control a conversation and make women feel comfortable. And this is an all-important element to succeeding with and attracting women. Have complete confidence when you approach a woman, and she will respond favorably to you. Be the funniest guy in a group. Have the confidence to hold people's attention. An alpha male is a guy that exudes confidence and can simply sit in a room or even interact online and attract women without being needy. He is a guy who gets around in the world by himself and gets what he wants through confidence, courage, intellect, and charisma. Your alpha male status will be determined by your body language, confidence, conversation, and the image you portray of yourself. Be an alpha male, because this is all that a woman desires. Apart from the masculine presence, an alpha male has many other qualities that make him desirable to a woman. As soon as an alpha male walks into a bar, all eyes will follow him, equally divided between male and female. At any party or social situation, it'll be obvious who the alpha male is. He will have the attention of the room focused on him. Achieving the true alpha male status takes some practice, but most men will find a little practice that will serve them well and double or triple his success. If you're a dominant alpha male who commands more power and pursues higher goals than the rest of the pack, you have no end of subordinate or submissive women eager to be with you. Alpha males always use cocky humor around women. One thing most men do not know is that women, just like men, are thrill seekers. But because of a societal expectation of what women should be, try to be reserved about it. Alpha males are usually stereotyped as insensitive people, but that is not always true. Possessing all the alpha male qualities, plus the ability to compromise, makes you the ideal alpha male. The ideal alpha male can maintain a relationship and stay married, unlike the stereotype alpha male, who can have any woman he wants but cannot keep a relationship or a marriage.